Hi, I want to record how to supersize an image. We're going to take this little monster and make him large enough to fit on a bulletin board or a room decor, anything where you need something supersized, birthday party, anything like that. The first step is to go to Cricut Access and find the image you would like to use. So I went to the images, I typed in the keyword monster, and I looked through to find an image that I wanted. The little one-eyed guy was adorable, so I thought I'd use him. But you can see there's lots of cute monsters to use. I'll add that to the canvas. So now I should have two monsters on my canvas. You'll notice my first monster comes in at 5 inches by 5 inches, and my larger monster, which I resized, is 23 inches by 20 inches. Now the larger monster has this hazard arrow next to it, which tells me that this image is too large to cut on my canvas. So what I need to do is slice through this image and cut it into smaller pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and hide my smaller image here. Let's get my arrow up there. We're going to hide that smaller guy. We don't need to see him right now in what we're doing. There we go. Okay, so he's hidden. So we're going to work with this larger monster. My canvas is at 100%. I'll go ahead and make it smaller so you can see what I'm doing and how I'm doing this. So here we are. Now, the first step is to determine what size paper you have. If you have 12 inches by 24 inch paper, you can bring in an 11.5 by 23 inch rectangle to work with. I have 12 by 12 paper that I'll be working with, so my shapes will be 11.5 inches high by 11.5 inches wide, because that's the largest size your cutter will cut. So I'll make my first square 11.5 inches by 11.5 inches, and I will duplicate that square. So now I have two 11.5 inches squares. And just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to go ahead and put 4 on my canvas because, as you can see, my little monster is quite large. And if I have to, I'm going to cut him up into quadrants, basically. So to align my squares so they line up perfectly, I'll take my first one and position it on the X and Y axis at 1 inch by 1 inch. Now it's all the way up here, so you can't really see it. We'll get up there in a minute. I'll take my second one and I'm going to position it at 1 inch by 12.5 inches over. Let's make sure that works. Let's go to that, where that guy is. Yes. Okay, so I have my first one is at 1 inch over and 1 inch at the top. And then I brought my second one 1 inch over and 11.5 inches down. So now this measurement is at this line right here should be at, let's see, 11.5 plus 12.5 inches. So I'm going to bring this one to 12.5 by 1. And that lines that one right up there. And then this one will go 12.5 by 12.5. Now I have all 4 of my rectangles. Now I'm going to change the color on my left rectangles because these are actually the ones I'm going to use to slice. These two here are only here for demonstration. Let's go find our monster, click on part of him, and I'm going to bring him up on my canvas to my 1 inch by 1 inch. Let's get him over here. So he's going to come on over here so we can see what we're doing with this monster. Okay, now if I bring my monster onto my squares here, I can't see him. So what I need to do is take my monster files and bring them to the top of my layers panel so the monster will be on the top. The second thing I need to do is group these 4 squares together so that they do not move on my canvas. So I'm going to just select all 4 of those squares, go up to my layers panel and select group. Now with those grouped together, I can move those around and my monsters grouped together. So let's get the monster lined up in the center of our rectangles. I select both groups and I align on the center. Now I lost my little monsters hiding again. Let's bring him back to the front. There we go. So you can see when I slice through all these layers, I will have my background layer in quarters. And as you, let's see, if we ungroup this layer, you'll see I can move the pieces around and determine which ones I need to slice and which ones are just enough to fit on a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So this one is 14.62 by 14.62. That one's going to need to be sliced. My smile, though, will not need to be sliced. My background will need to be sliced, and my two oranges and this orange needs to. So all four of these layers here will need to be cut and sliced. The rest of these will all fit on 12 by 12 sheets or 12 by 24. So for this little guy, I have this background color, my gray color here, I only have in 12 by 12 size sheets. So I'm going to definitely want to cut that out of 12 by 12. So that's going to have to be sliced at 12 by 12. My other pieces, though, I have, I'm going to do these pink, and I have 4 different shades of pink I'll be using. So I'm going to go ahead and change my colors here to match the colors of my paper a little bit. Let's go a little bit more magenta. So I'll have a dark pink, and I'll have a medium pink. So we're just going to keep moving these colors around, and then I'll have a light pink. Go back here, and we're going to do this one, the light side. Okay, so those are my colors, and let's see, I'm not really loving those. I kind of messed that up. Let's go back and do this again, because I think I picked the wrong ones for the wrong colors. Okay, so this is a lighter orange. Let me find that darker orange color. Which one is that? Let's see, this is the darker orange one. So my little arms cut out. Yeah, that's the darker orange. So that's going to be, I'm going to convert that one to a darker pink color. So first I can select a pink color, and then I'm going to slide down here. So I have more of, it's more of a pink than a purple. I guess we'll do that. So I'm going to go dark. That's going to be my darkest one. And then, are these two the same color? They look like they're the same color. Nope, they're a little bit different. This one is the medium pink. So we're going to take that and bring it down here to be a medium pink. And then this is the lightest of the pinks. So we're just going to bring that one down here. So there's my pink colors I'll be using. Now, my background color, as I said, I need to slice that 4 ways, but my pinks, I do have 12 by 24 inch paper. So these 3 pieces here will be sliced in 12 by 24. So I'll just slice it in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a rectangle shape that matches my 12 by 24. And I know this seems like a lot of back and forth, but the reason I do this is I like to have everything on the canvas first before I go to it. And I gave you the wrong measurements. It's 11.5 by 23 inches. And I'm going to change this color to represent even a lighter gray color, medium gray. Let's see. It's the same one. Okay, there we go. And I want to align this one with these squares. So I'm just going to take my square grouping and my new rectangle, and I'm going to align those at the top, and I'm going to align that at the right. Oops, sorry, align that to the left. I think I have the wrong thing selected here. There we go. Now it should be aligned to the top, but it looks like everything got messed up. Uh-oh, my little guy got messed up here. So let me back up. I must not have had the right thing selected. So sometimes when that happens, I go in and I'll hide the layers that I don't want to mess up. So I'm going to hide these pink layers because I want to keep those all lined up with each other. But I want to move this guy so he's lined up right here. So we're going to select both of those, align to the left, and then align to the top. And there we go. Now I don't need this one right now, so I'm going to hide this layer until I need that one. And I'm going to bring back my medium-sized monster right here. Now, in order to slice him, I need to select each square here and the monster and slice it at the top left and then the bottom left and the bottom right or the top right. So you have to do 3 slices to get 4 shapes. So first I'm going to ungroup my squares so I can pick each square at a time. Slice only works with 2 layers. So I'm going to take my monster, hold the shift key and select the first square and select slice. Now you'll see once it slices you have new layers created. I can delete the dark gray colors because I won't be using those in my shape, but I need to keep now my new 3/4 of a monster and my bottom right monster. So I'll take my 3/4 of a monster and the next square, hold shift. I have those 2 layers selected. I choose slice. Now I have a top half of a monster, a left monster, 2 left monsters because it's that gray color. So I don't need that one and I don't need that layer. I need to take my half monster and my next square, hold shift, hit slice, and I get rid of the colors I don't need. But now I have my monster is in 4 parts. So when I send it to cut, these 4 pieces will be on 4 different pieces of cardstock. So that's great. That's what I want. So I'm done with those. Now I can group those together and hide them. But actually, you know what? I'm going to step back a few steps and bring them back together so that they're all like that. Group them together and hide. Now I'll bring back my my rectangle, my big rectangle, and my pink monsters. So now you can see I just need to cut my pink monster in half 3 different times. Slice only works 1 at a time. So I could, I could weld it, but then I'd lose all the inside pieces. So I'm just going to take my rectangle and copy it and paste it 2 times. And then I'm going to line up. See, I'm going to group these together. I don't want those to move their position. I'm going to take my my rectangles, my new rectangles, and I'm going to align them to the top and then align it to the left. So now they're all batched together. But again, we're just going to go through and pick one of the squares and one of the monster shapes and slice it. Now, you'll see here that it has the hazard. Oops, don't do that. We're just going to watch what happens when I slice. So I slice and I delete my gray layers, but I have my 2 pink layers that now will cut on 12 by 24. So let's go to this darker pink, pick up a rectangle, select slice, delete out your lighter gray colors, and then we're going to go do one more little guy here, pick up the gray, select slice, and delete your gray colors here. So now you can see I have these little guys, these pieces here that are in 12 by 24 inch size or that will fit on 12 by 24 inch paper, and I can make them together like this. So let's go ahead and bring it all together and finish this design. And I may change this to a different color. I might make this blue. Make that a nice blue color. The light blue color. That'd look cute. Or do I want to do a turquoise blue? Okay, let's do turquoise blue. And so then now we're going to take this and send it to our prepare screen. And we're going to be cutting on a mat, and it'll be a variety, multiple ways, because we have some paper that's 12 by 12 and some that's 12 by 24. So here you can get set up on how you're going to cut. I'll be cutting this on a mat. This one will be 12 by 12. I'll be cutting this on a mat, and I can do this on a 12 by 12. My blue eye here will be on a mat. That is 12 by 12. But my pinks now, these need to be on a mat that is a bigger size, 12 by 24. And we're just going to go through and select all these to be cut on a mat and make sure our mat size is the right size. The last thing I'll do is I will go ahead and look at the order that everything is going to be cut in, and I'll stack my I'll stack my paper up to be in that same order. So when I go to do it, I'll know, okay, my light pink, my dark pink, and then my medium pink. That's the order that these are going to cut. So I'll go ahead and stack everything up. But where are my little, oh, you know what? I think my background body was still hidden. So let's come back here and we're going to unhide this guy. Now let's send it to make, and then I'll have to repeat those steps again. So I'm going to cut it on a mat, and I'll leave it 12 by 12. Let's see what happens if I do that, because they're all going to be on a mat. So that one cuts 12 by 12. These all cut 12 by 12. I don't need to change anything, and then these automatically default to the 12 by 24. Easy peasy. Love that. Okay, so light purple, dark purple, purple, light pink, dark pink, and medium pink is my order. I'm going to put them in my machine. So good luck. I can't wait to see how yours turn out.